Hello traders, this is Rich from tradesight. This is a look at the market leading ETFs via our proprietary scans for this coming session. This is going to be for the first week of June. This is going to be for June 2nd, 2014. Kind of a back and forth day here where the market did see some distribution. Net we didn't make a lot of movement. I think you'll see that here. The lack of any kind of signals here from the major broad market ETFs. We do have a volume bump here in the MD-wide mid caps, but price was actually pretty tight today. So nothing here from the broad-based stuff to really hang your hat on. Drilling down to the individual sectors, things get a little bit more interesting though. Got a volume bump here in XLV. Got a couple upside signals here, upside in XLF and also the SMH. I think what the real interesting ones are the RPSs here, especially the ones with volume. Got one on the IYR with good volume, pretty decent volume here in VNQ and also the XLP. Then we've got the XLU and also the PPH, but those are both kind of down on volume, so a little less interesting. Moving on to the commodity patch, I think we probably could be seeing a little battle here going on in the in gold, trying to hang on to 1250 here. We got a contra candle in the USO, which is kind of by association. The UNG's got one to the upside. The GDX, Gold Miners Index, has an upside CPS and a nice little volume bump there. Notice the surge in volume here in the SLV that tracks silver. So these are definitely in play. The DBC, which is the broad-based commodities ETF, 4 times the typical volume. The XME traded nice volume too. AGG, 5 times the typical volume, so big volume bump there in the AGG. And the TLT has an upside contra candle for next week. Moving on to the foreign names, a little sloppy here. The FXI, which follows China, has a downside signal with it. That one's on good volume. Do a volume bump also in the EEM. We're seeing one also in the EWZ, and that one's got a downside continuation pressure signal. That one was almost a 0.5% below the day's open and below the day's VWAP and nicely below the day's open. EWT, that tracks Taiwan, also had a volume bump. We had a volume bump in the broad-based EWU that tracks Europe in general. 2 times the typical volume, but very, very low price movement there. Moving on to the specials, this is definitely where the action wasn't. Not a lot of, there's no volume bumps here and no real big deviations. A couple of these are 1.5% away from the open, but don't forget a lot of these are triple leveraged ETFs, so that's really not that much of a move. And here's a look at our leading ETFs via the watch list. Taking a look at the bar counts for the Seeker and the Comer. As we saw last week, there's not a lot of countdowns that are very well in progress. So we've got a lot of action that's going to really kind of focus more on the startup phase. For the broad-based ETFs, we're 6 bars up in everything across the board. So we definitely could wind up 9 bars up next week. And if we do get to 9 bars up, then you're gonna see this little push start to run its course on this impulse at least. So definitely be ready for that. We're also seeing a lot of 6s here down below in the individual sectors. So that same technique should be applied there for them as well. The only one that we're really close on right now for any of the countdowns is the IYR. We're at 13 bars up in the aggressive Seeker, 11 bars up in the standard, and also 11 bars up in the Comer. So that definitely could lock in with a sell signal next week. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. All right, folks. As always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for tradesight.